Ladies, I am so excited to be here with you today. This is the first time I'm ever running this, so I'm really, really excited for how many of you are here and able to receive this live. It will be still very potent if you watch the replay, so you will have access to the replay as well for the duration of the container. So the container of Spirit Baby Dust is open until so we end on the 17th, 18th. Okay, today is the 11th, so the 18th. And then the whole entire container will be open for one more week after that. So you can kind of gather all of that. And I'm going to do some more invitations so that you can get into different containers, potentially if it fits for you, so that you have access to this recording for a lifetime. So I'm going to make sure that this is extremely potent, and I am going to ask everyone to mute just so I don't get super distracted because I have kids, and so I'm like squirrel brain all the time. So I'm gonna make sure that we are all here, and I'm gonna mute everyone who comes in. Oh, there's a mute all button. Cool. So I'm not sure if many of you guys have met me. I'm pretty sure most of you are in here and it's maybe the first time you're meeting me live. You've probably seen me on Instagram and just through my content. And so you've been getting to know me, but I haven't been getting to know you. So I just want to make sure that you know how extremely grateful I am that you are here and that we're getting connected today. I really obviously take energy exchange very seriously. So even when someone follows me on Instagram, I'm like in the DMs, making sure that they know that they're welcome. I used to be an event coordinator. So I was always the one who was like, if you're coming into my space, I'm gonna make sure that you know who I am because it's important to me that you are taken care of. And that's how I'm going to run this space, Spirit Baby Dust, run the Zoom, and then how I run all of my spaces. And this is why the women who work with me in closer proximity get the results that they get, because I hold a specific frequency for the women that work with me. And that is something that we are going to do today. So, an attunement, if anybody has worked with Reiki before, so I'm a master Kundalini Reiki practitioner. If you have ever worked with Reiki before, an attunement is just where you are literally attuning to a specific frequency. And the frequency that we are going to be attuning to and aligning with is the realm where the spirit babies live. And I found this realm by accident. I found it through birth and through psychedelics. And what I realized is that the realm, the energetic field that the babies live in, is the same field that you can access if you have ever done psychedelics. And if you've ever given birth, you go through that same portal, because there's a point, I think they call it, I mean, they might call it the Ring of Fire, but I actually didn't really ever experience the Ring of Fire too much with my kids. It was more like a transition, and they call it a transition because you're transitioning between worlds where your body is here, but your consciousness is somewhere else. So I'm going to facilitate the energy of the room and the energy of your biofield, your like just outer energy body to the spirit baby realm. And this is, again, this is just the first layer of the onion. And this won't move as much as if you're doing really deep work with me. Oh, let me put this on Do Not Disturb. But it will get things moving, and you will see shifts in your life. When women start to do these alignments with me, I do an alignment session. It's crazy what happens in their life. Like their whole life turns over and it's completely different in like a week, maybe even like a couple of days. So this will start to make shifts in your life, and you might not notice it until a little bit later. Now, the way that I really want this to go is I want everyone to be able to find a comfortable space to sit down or lay down, because it will be a bit of a meditative, trancy hypnosis kind of thing. And I would like everyone to, I was considering whether I wanted everybody's videos on or not. I don't think that it's necessary for you to have your video on. So if you want to turn it off, you can. You can keep it on if you want. When I perform energy readings and energy healings, I have them obviously keep the video on. But for this, because it's a group, I am just going to have an energetic like visualization of all of us in a circle, and I'm going to perform the attunement on each of us as a group. So put in the chat if you guys have ever connected to your spirit baby, and if you have, what was your experience? I'd love to hear about it so that we can kind of get a feeling for who has touched the edge of that realm before. Not yet. Really excited. Not yet. Okay. Wow, this is so exciting. Okay. I'm so happy. This is so great. And the beauty about everyone's spirit babies is their missions are they're different, just like our missions are different. Like I happen to find my mission because I love self-discovery. I love human design. I love astrology. I love all the things where I can study who I am and what I'm meant to do. And I've always been like that. And my whole entire chart has pointed towards fertility and babies and being around babies. And that's why I've nannied 45 kids. I'm the oldest child of all of my family. I've been around babies my whole entire life. So um, I like when we kind of get some newbies in this area, because it's not only going to help you connect to your spirit baby, but this is going to put you on your mission work. This is ultimately what my my work is. Like you're coming in here for learning how to connect to your spirit baby and conceiving your spirit baby. But what you'll really receive is clarity around what you're supposed to do here in this lifetime, in this body. And so I'm really excited to help you guys attune to it because this is why you'll see shifts in your life because it's not about just the spirit baby, it's about alignment to who and how you're supposed to live. So, with I will actually wait a couple more minutes because there's still some people who are flooding in. I'll read the chat a little bit. So, most people are saying no, that they have not. There's one lovely lady that said that she was able to, and it was like a feeling in your body. Yes. So, we're definitely going to talk about that. Never so interested. This is also new. Through readings I have, but I really want to connect more. Tried through meditations before, but haven't gotten there 100% yet. Yes, so doing this work takes just practice. It's like a muscle, right? Like, so I'll get into like your clair senses right now. Every single one of us has the ability to sense extra stuff outside of our reality. We are all born with gifts where we can sense different things. So someone said that they could feel it in your body. So that is like clairkinesis, like where you can feel things. I have that as well. I've always been able to walk into a room and I can sense when there's a spirit in the room. Because to me, it just feels like the air changes. Like literally, it's a different texture of air in the room. I can always tell, I can tell within like to the minute when it's going to rain because I can feel the shift in the temperature and like the way that the air feels. I've always been able to do that. So you might have that as well. If you have a sense that's kind of dampened. I don't want to say like broken or anything because that's not true. It's just, it's not as loud as the other ones. Then that means your other senses are going to be louder in some way. So I actually wear contacts and I have astigmatism. So I have pretty intensely not great eyesight without vision correctors. And so my sense of touch and my sense of hearing is very, very sharp. So my two clair senses have been clairaudience and clairkinesis. So I have always been able to like feel things very, very well. I've been able to hear things that other people can't hear. And this is how I started with my spirit baby journey. My daughter came to me and it was just a voice that spoke to me as like we're having a conversation. And it was just clear as day. She was like, "Hey, mom, it's me. I'm a girl. I'm going to be your daughter soon. And, I'm so excited to meet you." And then it just poof, went away. And I was like, that was not my voice. That was not a voice that I've ever heard before. And that's how I knew that this was a path that I was going to go on. Later, maybe a month or two after that encounter, I encountered a psychic who is one of my friends who was doing a reading for me and he was like, "Do you work with kids or like do you plan on having any kids?" And I was like, "Well, I don't really at the time I didn't want to have any kids." And at the time I had been nannying like 40 something kids already and I was like, I mean, I've always been around kids all my life. He was like, "No, this is like future. Like you're going to be working with a lot, like hundreds of babies. Like and it's not nanny work. It's going to be something different." And lo and behold, here we are. So I'm saying this because this is a portal. You guys just stepped into like an initiation, coming into spirit baby dust, wanting to really learn how to connect to your spirit baby. But what you're really going to receive with anything that you jump into in my work is a stronger sense of sovereignty and your mission. You're going to start to feel clear about what it is you're meant to do outside of just becoming a mother. Motherhood is a rite of passage, it's a vehicle. It's not necessarily your mission, but it will bring you to your mission. And so I'm really, really excited to bring all of this to you. It looks like most people who are going to be here are in. So I'm going to go ahead and start our attunement. I want to announce as well before we get into attunement, because I think the energy will be a little bit off by the time we're done with it, and I want you guys to be able to rest and kind of go off with your day. I have some homework for you, and the homework is to watch a masterclass, and I'm going to drop the link for you guys in the Telegram group, and I'll email it to you as well. You might have to go check your spam folder to make sure. And with that, I want you to really listen to it, and I'm going to send you a quiz. And in that quiz, whoever sends it back with the correct answers are going to get a free Spirit Baby audio training from me. And I invite you to apply to the program that I'm talking about at the end of the masterclass, because this is where you'll get the whole entire scope of things. So I'm just giving you an appetizer of what I do, but the program that's in that masterclass is going to give you all of it. And this is just a little seed that I want to plant. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that program throughout the next couple of days, but I just want to make sure that I give it to you now so that you have the time to go through it, because it's like an hour long and it's a lot to digest. The practice, how long is the practice going to take? So this isn't going to take very long. It's probably going to take maybe 15 to 20 minutes. And then I'm going to hold the space for you to stay in it as long as you want. And the replay might be best for you if that is too long, but I'm going to say that it'll probably be about 15 to 20 minutes. I'm just going to cue some music really quick and we will get started. So wherever you are, find a comfortable spot. And I'm going to find some solfeggio or some healing frequency sounds for us. Can you give me a thumbs up if you can hear me over the music, okay? Or if it's too loud? Okay, good. Thank you. All right, ladies. Whew. I'll take a couple of big, deep breaths, and we're going to land in the body. So you can place your hands on one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly if you'd like, just to really feel grounded and connected to your physical body. And before we start, we'll just start to bring awareness to our breath the way that it is, without changing a thing. Notice if you naturally breathe through your mouth, through your nose, into your throat or chest, or into your stomach. Notice how you're sitting, if you're sitting up. And now with some intention, we'll start to breathe in through the nose, counting in for 4, and sending that breath down into the belly. Breathing in 1, 2, 3, 4. And we'll exhale double the count for 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale for 4, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 8, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One more time. Inhale for 4, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 8, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now continue with this breath on your own. recalling the number sequence in your own mind, knowing that the exhale must be twice as long as the inhale so that we can really bring our nervous systems into coherence with each other. And as you breathe nice and slow, I want you to imagine a fire with logs like a bonfire, as if we're camping outside. And I want you to imagine all 13 women who are on this call in a circle around this campfire. I want you to imagine each of us having our hands on each other's knees, completing the circle, and staying in connection to each other's frequency through touch. You might notice that your shoulders will drop, your tongue will release from the roof of the mouth. And your eyes will soften. Now imagine a bright light coming from the fire, expanding outwards, going through each of our hearts, and encompassing all of us in the circle in a big dome of white light. This light is for protection of all of the women who are in this space, live and on the replay. This energetic force will also protect the spirit babies that are connected to each and every one of us as we start to connect to them. And now, because we are fully protected by this white light, enclosed in this dome of healing and safety, I want you to bring your attention back to the center. And from the fire, we now see the color red. This is the color of the root chakra. It's the center of safety, security, and feeling like the ground is underneath us. I am going to perform a healing on the collective root chakra, because oftentimes when we are in this journey, the feeling of uncertainty can create cracks in the energetic center. And so using your breath, breathing in, we're all going to heal the collective root chakra together. And as you breathe out, we're breathing that healing energy into this red root chakra of the collective. You might find naturally that you'll want to put your hands up to feel the warmth of the fire, feel the warmth of the root chakra, and feel yourself really healing the collective root chakra energy center. Because as we heal, every woman that we're connected to through the womb web also heals. Now I want you to see that root chakra light, that red light, flatten out and go into the ground. Bring your attention back to the fire. And I want you to see the color orange. This is the center of our sacral chakra. This is where our wombs live. This is a huge energy center that is extremely blocked in the collective, that has been targeted to become weak by forces outside of ourselves. And so I'll spend some time here really helping you to understand what we need to do as a collective to create clarity as we clear our channel through each of the chakras. So imagining this orange light coming from the fire. I would love each of you to place your hands up and allow your attention and focus to go towards the light. And imagine as you're breathing, that light starts to get brighter and bigger and brighter and bigger. And as it grows, it starts to connect to each of our wombs. You might start to feel a tingly sensation in your womb as this happens, because we're all starting to connect to each other. And this is extremely powerful, even in a virtual space, even in a replay. I've seen magical miracles happen when the intention is there. I'm going to perform a healing on the collective sacral chakra. This is one I'm spending a little bit more time on. A lot of the womb energy that I'm sensing has been through a lot. There's so much grief that lives in this chakra. And part of that is because there's not enough attention and compassion given to the womb, because we are told stories that we need to be and do certain ways to have what we want. And it simply is not true. The only thing we need to be is in alignment. That way, everything that we do is in alignment, so that everything we want to have is in alignment. Big breath together, breathe in. And as you breathe out, we're going to send that light down into the ground with the root chakra. Bring your attention back to the fire. And we're going to place our focus on the color yellow. Let it appear before you, beautifully bright. This is the center of our solar plexus. This is the place where our confidence and our ability to show up and our ability to take action comes from. And on this journey of conception, it can often get really muddy. Take a couple of deep breaths here and just start to imagine as you breathe this bright yellow light starting to get much brighter and brighter and brighter. You'll feel that because we started to do a collective healing on the bottom two chakras, this one is going to be a little bit easier to do a healing on, and it's going to move much faster. I feel the energy of the group rising, and as the energy of the group rises, we're rising to the frequency of the realm where the spirit babies live. So stay with it. This energy center feels complete, so let's collectively push it down into the earth. Now place your awareness back at the fire and imagine the color green. This is the center of the heart chakra. This is where all desire and love and gratitude lives. This is the space that creates everything that we want. If the bottom 3 chakras are blocked, it is hard for the heart to do its job. But if we keep our heart strong and we connect to each other on a heart level, all of the lower chakras will by itself start to come into alignment. I want you to focus on the color green as you breathe deeply. Breathing in, letting that heart chakra come into your own heart, letting that green light expand, touching you right in your chest. And as you exhale, everyone imagine that green light getting bigger and brighter. Staying here, I want you to think of 5 things that you are grateful for. And if you start to shed a tear because of the gratitude that you feel for it, you are bringing more power into the collective heart chakra. So I want you to take a moment just to think about what you are extremely grateful for right now. With this chakra, instead of pushing it into the ground, we're going to send this one up. So imagine the heart chakra going up and protecting the dome of white light that we had before, because the heart chakra has the most powerful electromagnetic frequency than anything else in our body. So we're going to use that EMF and protect the dome. We're going to use it to protect ourselves, the collective, including the spirit babies and our actual earthside babies that are here. Now bring your awareness back to the fire and imagine the color blue. This is the center of our throat chakra. This is where we connect to our truth and speak and express ourselves in a way that is true to us. In the work that I do, you will feel so safe to express who you are, what you've been through, with so much love and grace. And I want this to be the same energy that you all feel in this container or any other container that you join with me. And so blue is the color of water. And the way that I want us to imagine is I want the blue light to start to surround us like a moat, like a river. Because I want every single woman in our collective to experience what it feels like to be in a clear channel, to be a clear channel, to be around clear channels. And that requires each of us to be in a clear channel of truth, sovereignty, honesty, compassion for ourselves and for others. So now we have this blue light creating a moat of water around us. Bring your awareness back to the fire and imagine the color purple. This is the center of our third eye. And this is our ability to see. And I know that it might be difficult for some of you to connect to this. Maybe this is the first time that you are ever experiencing this. So I just want you to focus your mind on the color purple. And you might even see it as like a crystal, a purple crystal, like an amethyst. And I want you to try to just keep your focus there, and I will perform a healing on the third eye chakra collective so that you guys all have the ability to start accessing your third eye and your clear senses. Okay, we're all going to send this big crystal up into the top of the dome, allowing it to be kind of like a Christmas tree star at the top of our dome. Bring your focus back to the fire, and we are going to imagine that same white light that we imagined at the very beginning. But this time it's connected to all of the chakras that we've activated. And I want you to imagine that white light growing from the fire, bigger and bigger, blinding white light coming up out of the fire, going through your body and completely engulfing the entire circle. Breathing deeply here, accessing this healing frequency of the crown chakra that connects us and our channel to God and to our spirit babies. And from here, I want you to just sit and see what comes up for you. I'm going to turn off my mic and I'm going to set the intention that the spirit babies that are connected to you show themselves in some form, in some fashion. And I want you to stay in this frequency of receptivity. Stay in this frequency of knowing that you are safe to experience whatever you experience and that what you experience is the truth. Because we have completely went through your entire channel, and as a collective, we have cleared the channel in this moment. Of course, it might go back when we go back to 3D reality, but I want you to stay here and allow yourself to be an antenna, basically, and receive the signal that your babies are trying to say to you. We'll be here for a few moments, and I'm going to turn off my mic and my video for a second. Be open to any signs that your baby shows you. It could be a felt sense. It could be a sound, a name, something that you hear. It could be a vision of something like a plant or an animal or a place. Keep yourself open and don't second guess whether or not it's real. Trust that this container is intentionally fortified so that it is of the utmost truth. We'll be here for about 2 more minutes. So if there's anything that you want to communicate to your baby, initiate that conversation now. Okay, ladies, bringing our consciousness back down into our bodies. Slowly start to bring movement to your fingers and toes, allowing yourself to slowly land back in the body. I want you to really feel into this experience and remember you can come back to this place. You have now experienced the realm of where the spirit babies live, even if for a second. This is, again, only the first layer of the onion. And so this is why I planted the seed before we started, so that we can do deeper work together if you feel called. And whenever you're ready, you may open up your eyes, you can turn on your video, and we can have a few moments to chat whenever you feel complete and like you're back in the 3D world. Okay, lady. Ah, what were your takeaways? Hmm. I felt waves of energy and shivery. Can't say that I saw or heard anything clear, but I think I heard September. Yes, these messages will start to become clearer and clearer the more time you spend in that realm. And it maybe not necessarily be connecting to your spirit baby in general, but because we were all connected, you could have been picking up on other people's too. So I will say that because we were all connected in that space. I will say that I was really hot. My whole body just started sweating, and I don't really like it takes a lot for me to sweat, and I definitely broke a sweat for some reason. and my daughter came in right when we like started to connect to the spirit baby realm. She came in the door. So, and she's always a totem for me of like when we're getting to like the good stuff. She's always in my energetic alignment sessions because she does that. Rosanna said, I had tears of gratitude and my womb feels lighter. Oh, that's so great. Yeah, we spent a lot of time on the womb. I just sensed that just the collective womb in general experienced a lot. Like anytime you have a miscarriage, or if you ever had a termination before, or any sort of loss, like it traumatizes the womb. Like it's a muscle, it's a piece of, it's a piece of it's kind of like skin. Like if something gets done to it, then like there's going to be some scarring and there's going to be some wounding there. And I just found that that was something I could sense has happened in the majority of the women who are in this space. So I spent a lot of time really energetically like massaging the fascia and the scar tissue out. So I'm glad that you feel lighter in your womb. As I was imagining us in a circle in the fire, the dome, I saw a vision of two babies crawling up to me and coming onto my lap. I also have tears of gratitude as well. Oh, I love that. Yes, that's so amazing. That's so beautiful. Yeah, the way that I was envisioning it as well, like I saw babies on laps and I saw babies that were like hovering right over the head. So the way that I see that is like the babies that are here that are like right above the head, they're the next ones to come through to the earth. Oh, Danielle said, I feel like I'm coming off a high. I had such a huge sense of joy and tears. I heard, hi, mama. Yes. Yes. So you will feel high. It literally is like that. It is actually because you're coming from this realm that is, um, I told you it's like psychedelic. I don't know if anybody has done any psychedelic drugs or any psychedelic just experiences in general. But it really does feel like that. Like the first time I gave birth, I remember I was like, I feel like I'm tripping on acid. This is so weird. What is going on? And then I started to connect to the spirit babies, and I was like, whoa, that's the same feeling and the same sensations and the same visions that I'm having. So I started to make the connection that it was the same place. I think for the first time, I really believe that my baby exists for real. I also had tears. Oh, I'm so happy. This is so beautiful, ladies. Wow, this is so much better than I had pictured it. I really didn't know how this was going to go. Everything I do is channeled. I never plan for anything and I never prepare because when I do that, I feel like I kind of stumble more than if I just go for it. And so I really know, I feel that this was the medicine that this group needed. And just listening to or reading all of what you guys have experienced, I'm so happy. This makes me so, so happy to be able to experience this with you and facilitate this with you. Hey, baby. So, with all that said, I will just go with an overview of how the rest of the week is going to go. So, like I said before we started, I'm going to send you the masterclass that I did a couple weeks ago, and it really goes in depth into my framework. And then there will be an application to join my beta program. Something that I wrote some notes here because I wanted to make sure that there are a lot of bonuses and gifts and all the things. And so if you watch the masterclass, I'm going to send you a quiz. If you submit the quiz back and get all the answers right, I'm going to send you a free Spirit Baby audio training. If you apply and jump into the Sovereign Conception program within 72 hours of like watching the masterclass and really getting it down on pat, and you jump in within 72 hours, you will get a free one-on-one alignment session with me, and there are only 5 spots for that. And that is where things really move. This is where, like, when someone comes into work with me, the closer you work with me, the faster the success is. So there are 5 spots for that. So you have to apply and you have to jump into the program. You pay with pay in full within 72 hours. If you simply just jump in using a flexible payment plan, I'm happy to work with you. Um, I will gift you a spirit baby reading, which now is valued at $555 because they have been going so fast. And I just don't have the the bandwidth to churn them out like that because as you can tell, it takes some time for me to get into that space, right? So like what I showed you in this attunement, I do that myself. So I go through my channel, make sure my channel is clear, and then I also go into your channel. So if you do a spirit baby reading with me, I connect to your channel and I make sure each one of your chakras are clear enough that I can connect to your spirit baby as well. So you'll receive a spirit baby reading or a fertility frequency reading, which is like how you should live in alignment so that you know whether you are getting closer to the same frequency as your spirit baby or you're kind of getting off track. So if you jump in by Friday with an application, do the quiz, and send in a flexible payment plan, or you decide to do a flexible payment plan, ouch, I will gift you a spirit baby reading or fertility frequency reading, whichever one is your choice. So with all that said, this is feeling complete. My daughter is pulling my hair, so I think she's telling me to get off the call. And I just have so much gratitude for all of you ladies. I really felt so connected to each and every one of you. I encourage you to rewatch this replay. You'll have access to it until the 25th, and then it will go away. But if you join the Sovereign Beta Conception Program, it will live there for free for a lifetime, and you'll have lifetime access to it. The modules that I have, so there's like I think that I've got like 20 something plus modules that go deep, deep, deep into my framework that we'll cover over the next couple of days. And there are 6 live calls in it. So I just did a live call, but I'm going to add another 6 because I want to make sure that I serve as many people as possible. So the next couple of days, next 4 days, we're going to do a lesson. So I'm going to drop a voice lesson and homework that is going to be like a participation thing. And you'll still have that homework to do the quiz. So I'll send the quiz tomorrow and you'll have until Friday basically to send it in. But the quicker you send it in, the faster you take action, the faster you get results in my world. And I truly believe that. So on day 6, which I believe is the 17th, it will be a hot seat coaching day. So you'll be able to ask me anything and I will answer to the absolute best of my ability. And on that Friday, or not Friday, on the 18th, it's going to be a full integration of everything that we've learned and the final invitation into deeper work with me, whether that's the beta program or if you're somebody who just needs more one-on-one support, then we'll talk about that there. So with all that said, I just wanted to make sure that I was fully transparent about how this container is going to go, what the intention of the container is, and that way, when you're going through all the material, you know why it's laid out the way it is. Oh, you want to say hi, Willow? Can you say hi? Hi. Yes. Yes. Okay, ladies. Oh, yes. And I don't show my kids' face on social media. So when you work with me, you get the blessing of being able to see my kids because they are very much a part of my life and my work and they're totems for everything that I do. So that's another thing. They always come in to kind of be the sacred space holders of the group. So um yes, so I feel complete there. I love you all so much. I'm so excited to get to know you all each deeper in the group. I love being able to have conversations with you, and I will see you in there. Thank you all so much for showing up live, and definitely, definitely watch the replay. I will drop the replay in the group once it uploads to the cloud. Yeah. Can you say bye-bye? Bye-bye. Can you give flying kiss? Say goodbye. Can you do flying kiss? Bye. You're so nice. Yes, that's Mama. Okay. Bye, ladies. Have a great day. Bye. You're welcome. Goodbye, everyone. Bye bye. Bye.